Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. My name is Jaime, giving you exclusive events on headlines that you didn't even know you needed. And before I get started, if you're new to the channel, I would appreciate if you would subscribe with notifications. And let's get on with some events, humans. Humans. I can't say it enough. You wish you would make this stuff up, but it's like, it seems like now that the playbook is out. You could see it. You could see the whole plan out there from everybody on their social media, like sharing, like, videos and, leaked documents and like all these kind of things. And even from the people who do like the conspiracies, it's like myself. I love conspiracies. I gotta get a new conspiracy one into the making, and this one kind of has that kind of feel because it feels like I said the playbook is out there, it's available. And, now it's very clear that this plan is out there from the super rich. It's like the super rich plan. And cheers and happy holidays to everybody out there. So they say that the super rich control us with separation, and that seems very obvious and, every obvious today because it seems like there's just so many new, ways of division anymore from all the, race, gender, yada yada. You can go on and go on, on and on the way they divide us, right? But the way they divide us is the way to keep them super rich. And this playbook has been coming out, and not only just the way they exploit our differences, and they put all these different pieces in the way, like in different boundaries, almost like rings of power or like different boundaries, and you're never gonna find the outer ring. You know how people have that conspiracy of the flat Earth, theory and all that. Like there's an ice ring around the planet or around Earth, and then there's something outside that's like, more powerful. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's this powerful rings, and like we're in the middle, way in the circle in the center in the middle, and then there's all these boundaries out there to get to the outside for the ones who are turning all these wheels, so they protect themselves. And all these new rings they put in there. It's it's modeled by the tree, so they put all these different rings in there, to keep us distracted to see what was the ones we should be really mad at, and so when you got out there and like you see the minorities out, there's a lot of minorities. Myself, I happen to be one of them, and they say they outnumber the super rich in the powerful elites, and they try to keep. In order to control the people that outnumber them, that's how their plan is to keep us separate. And so that's how how they keep themselves safe, and that's to keep their money flowing by keeping us fighting each other. And then you're like, so how do they do that? So it's real simple when you look at it, because look at everybody just on social media alone. When they created social media, you had like MySpace. And then after MySpace, it was like the Facebook, and then like everything, I think they kind of started close around the same time, and then like they all just evolved from there. And then like they skyrocketed, like so people started hating on people. There was this documentary on the hated, most hated dude, like the way people just started like using people's photos and doing, bad things with people's photos. And that was separating people. As soon as the internet came out there, chat rooms, people just started hating on people, shaming from whatever your appearance is, like appearance shaming, whether you were fat, skinny, tall, small, from your race, goofy looking, if you was deformed, you know what I'm saying? People just finding ways to attack you, and they were using those ways and fueling them. And that was another way to, that was one of the most powerful ways right now today that they keep us separate. And now the media, has just got this new super powered, beefed up, Hemi engine inside of it, way more powerful than the Tesla electric engines. This shit, it's just going now. It's just like almost like that shit. The media engine is almost like artificial intelligence in a way. That shit has just got its own mind now. It's going. You can't stop it. It's like got a mind of its own. As soon as one story gets out, it's going to shoot out no matter whether it's true, whether it was not true. That's why, some of these past iconic figures in our past have said, the media is one of the most powerful weapons. It's one of the most powerful weapons in the world. It's a scary thing. So like I said, they use this power of division. Whether you're, saying that you are, let's go through race, you're black, white, Asian, light skin, dark skinned. You're like all these different ways that you're only half. And you find all these ways to keep you. Like there's levels also. There's like levels of the way they divide you, not just with the colors. You got levels of division. Even like in social media, like you got levels of division. Like I got more friends or more followers and more likes and more, you know, you're verified, you ain't. And so there's all these like other ways of verify. You look at this person, oh, you don't even got the check mark. You don't even have the check mark to be talking to me. Stuff like that. Or you don't even have like the viewership to like that's what I get all the time. You don't even have the viewership to be saying things like the way you be saying or things. I get that one all the time. Like you shouldn't even be here. I'm like, oh, like you don't belong here. Keep you in those kind of things. But like I said, there's levels of it. And then when the people in the society get mad at each other, they got another boundary, which I say, like, here's another boundary of them to get, protect the rich people to the rich boundary is like the law enforcement. So they use like law enforcement, like police, border patrol, like security guards, like them kind of people, to block them away from another level to get into that, so we can't, even think about the super rich people. We're only thinking about the police. Like, we hate the police. You're in that way. You're in our way of getting into there. And then when you get past the police, you hit another level, which is like, the politics side, where you got the governors and the state reps and, yada yadas of those, and then you get into all the way to D.C. And you got that layer of after we get past our state, we got to get to the capital. And there's another border there. All these little boundaries over here to keep us from the outer ring of the super powerful rich. And that's how I feel like that's the game plan. That's part of the playbook, if you ask me. So you have us like hating all these, first it's us. And then when we finally get sick of hating us and we got to start breaking into our boundaries and start, breaking out of the, getting to the next levels, there's all these different levels created. So you guys are safe. And you're back out here on the way outside rings of all these boundaries y'all created. And you get to sit back there and, be super rich. Super safe and super rich while everybody else is great, living chaotic and crazy lives. I'm only having fun with this theory, humans, but that's why I think it's hilarious because it kind of has it has a truth feel to it. It has a creepy truth feel to it when you think about it. It's like they use this Monopoly game not just with like real estate and money, they do it with the people as well. So like just like they used us like the greenhouses and the red houses and shit like that through the whole game, and to get out of jail free cards. And it's bananas when you think about it. It's kind of crazy and scary because it's got like I said, it has a little realistic feel if you ask me, because the super rich just seem to get more way super rich, and then it doesn't seem to have, and their plan seems to be like, trying to cripple the people that can make a living and the ones that are barely making a living. It seems like it just impacts all of them, and it's almost like they're playing the process, the process of elimination. If you make it harder for the ones that can barely make it and the ones that can make it, obviously people are going to start falling off the edge there, and the people, like I said, on the outside are going to sit there and benefit from it because they'll be making more moolah in the safe zone. I wonder what it's like out there. If there's anybody out there that's been in the super rich ring, the outer circles, and they start leaking things of what it looks like. Because you see those weird, like eyes wide shut looking parties when you get on to conspiracy shit. Like those people have those were the Rothschilds, like those people that run like the big money system. All the money in the world, supposedly these guys funded both sides of the wars. Even didn't matter what side you was on. Those guys was controlling the whole game. Probably still are, right? And you see these, people leaking all these crazy photos of these secret parties and secret videos of these parties, and then you wonder, or not even wonder. Now you figure out, you're like, oh, that's why you don't hear about the client list of, Epstein and all that stuff. The lady was in court and did her trial, and she gave up a lot of information on all these people that went there, and all that stuff is not allowed out to the public because most of those people are probably all the powerful politicians and people out that super powerful rich outside circle. And that's all the ones you see. Like I said, it's always like, oh, look at that crazy old dude. And that crazy old dude could be one of those creepy, powerful rich people on that outside circle that you better be careful, who you're talking about and shit like that. You just don't know. But it almost seems like a little plausible that, there's a reason they're keeping her documentation out of the public, because these super powerful people that feel like they're above the law because they create the law and they make the law, make us follow the law, think they can just, to choose what we get to see and what not to see. And I feel like I said, those veils are starting to fall, and we're not really falling for a lot of this bullcrap anymore. I don't know what the next level is when, all the curtains fall and we're like, man, really, somebody's going to actually catch one of y'all with a little kid, and and then what? If they do catch y'all with that, and the people out here still don't do anything about it, then I know we're done. Then there's no help. Then there's no hope, humans. There'll be no hope. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, I'd appreciate it if you would smash that like button, hit me with a subscription, and turn on them notifications. My name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Meant to Rent. Till next time, humans. See ya.